Hello everybody. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make your own family videos and homemade videos and whatnot for your own channels. I've been doing this for quite some time. I use Wondershare Filmora Pro. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that in this software. I use 13. There is currently Wondershare Filmora 14 and whatever you want. That is more expensive and unfortunately won't let me upgrade for free. So I've been using this for quite some time. But I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Okay. Uh, so so what I tend to do is I tend to start with an intro. You have your media where you can import all of your files that you want to use in your project. You have stock media, which is basically just videos that they provide for you if you want to. There's a pro service, so anything with the diamond you can't use. Typically, you have to have a separate subscription for that, which I don't currently have. So I usually just use my own stuff. They do provide audio as well, of course. Some of them are subscription based. Titles, you can use that, but there's also a toolbar down here, which I'll kind of explain how everything works. You have your transitions. If you want to drag and drop transitions, you can do that pretty easily. See? So pretty easy to use. And you can also, there are shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, which I'll explain in a second as well. But basically, you can just click the delete on the keypad, select it, click delete, and it'll go away if you don't want it there. You can also click Control Z, and that'll undo anything that you've done. And as well as if you want to delete, typically when you delete a video, it'll stay, right? So let me Control Z that, and you can actually hold Shift and delete, and it'll actually drag it down if you want it to basically follow the path of where you deleted it. If that makes sense. And then you have effects as well. What I like to do a lot is I like to use bokeh. So there's bokeh options for some really sentimental moments. There's lighting options as well, light leaks, which I use a good bit. Borders as well. So if you want something with a more cinematic look, which I have here, you can also click on the thing and adjust the height however big you want the border to be. Um, but yeah, and then you have filters as well, which these are LUTs. I can show you real fast how to add your own LUT. So LUT is what is called color grading. So it changes the colors of the videos to match what you want. Right now I have it set to Polaroid 600, which is a custom one. You can actually click add right here and add your own custom LUTs. And you can get a bunch of free LUTs on the internet, but you see they change the video. They change the color of the video to match whatever you're looking for. You can also change the strength of it. So this is the original video with the LUT added. You can see the difference, and it does help out quite a lot. You can also change the color right here. So yeah, whenever you click on video, you have 4 different options. You have the video options. And if I'm going too fast, you can always pause and rewatch. You have a mask. So what you can do with the mask is you can actually draw around what you want. And when it connects, gets rid of the background for you. However, the problem with that, when it comes to videos, good with images, but whenever you do that with a video, it'll always stay in that one spot. So when the people start moving around, it won't actually follow them. You can AI mask, which is in beta right now, which may do that. I haven't actually used it. But yeah, it's really good for thumbnails. I've used it quite a lot for mini thumbnails. Not on my own videos, but it's good with images. Very good with images. You have AI tools, which I haven't used a lot of. But you do have chroma key, which I have used a good bit. So if you have a green screen background, click that. You can set the offset, tolerance, edge thickness, feather it to make it look however you want. Make it look clean. It does require a lot of processing power, so if you don't have the best PC in the world, it might not work great. It barely works with mine, and I have a 4060. So if there's a lot going on, it can be very taxing on your computer. You have animations as well, so like fading in, fading out on your video, very similar transitions. That right there is very good for text. I'll show you how text works in a minute. You have audio that you can adjust as well on your videos. You have the AI speech enhancement and the wind removal is not the best in the world. It does make the audio sound kind of weird, and the voice changer also makes it sound kind of weird. For more like sentimental type videos, sometimes I'll use lobby or big room on the voice and mainly focus on music, which can be very cool and artsy. And of course color, and you also have speed. So if you right click on a video, I'll show you this too. You have a lot of options here as well. A lot of these will just take you to the area over here. However, speed, if you go to show speed control and click this button right here, you can set custom speed, you can slow it down, you can speed it up, or just set it back to normal, but that's very useful and very nice to have. Let's see. I'll show you how to keyframe as well if you would like. So say you have an image and you want a slideshow, right? I have some images back here, and I'll show you how that works. So you can click on the image. You can go to the beginning of the video or wherever you want and click this button right here. This adds a keyframe. And how that works is whenever you add a keyframe, this is where it starts as. So if you make it bigger and then say you add another keyframe later on and make it smaller on that keyframe, it'll move. So this is a normal one right here. This is just like a regular keyframe, right? It's not moving at all, right? Back out a little bit. So if you go here, add another keyframe, and then make sure that that keyframe is selected. You can make it bigger, and then center it, and then look what happens. See? Easy enough, man. Not super difficult. This is the duration of the media, so you can easily just adjust the duration by sliding it in and out. That's not really necessary. This is the text button on the toolbar, which I'll go ahead and explain text real fast. Super easy to use. You just put the marker wherever you want it. Click here. Click quick text. I never use quick 3D text. I tend to only use the quick text because everything can be adjusted right here. You have a bunch of different presets for the way you want your text to look. Hey, be nice and be careful. Okay, so right here, you can adjust what your text says. Blah, blah, blah. And you actually don't need to adjust a lot of the specifications right there, like the size and the size. I mean, that's pretty much it, just size. But you can put it wherever you want. This is where you'll have your fonts. So whatever you want the font to be, you can change the color, but a lot of times I'll use presets because they're much easier to use. Tons of different presets. Really cool. And then to the right of basics, there's tabs within tabs. You'll click on animation, and you can actually set the in animation, so what it's going to be like whenever it first starts. And then you have the out animation, which will be whenever it fades out, or whatever animation you want to use for the out. And you can also have it set to loop, where it'll just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. You also have the duration, so how long it lasts. See, if you want like a quick fade, then it'll be like whoop. If you want a long fade, then it'll be a bit longer and it'll be a bit smoother. And you also have text to speech, but I haven't actually used it. It's pretty new. And then yeah, you can set the blend mode. You can set the scale here as well. But you just really tend to want to do this. It makes it so much easier to do this. And you can also rotate with this right here. You can do that the same thing on the video. If you have video that's sideways, you can use the rotate to rotate it the correct way. I know sometimes with phones that can be the case. But LUTs and all this stuff tend to be my favorite thing to use, as well as borders and bokehs and lighting and just good chops, man, is really what makes a video good to music, which I tend to like to do a lot. And but other than that, you also have stickers. So stickers, majority of them will be subscription based. But there are some that you can use. You can even type up here what you want to use. Say you want some kind of heart popped up. Click type heart, and then you just have all the hearts here. You can just basically just drag and drop onto the thing here. It'll automatically download it, and then voila, you have a heart. Beautiful. Let's see, what else is there? You can render preview. So what render preview does is whenever, like, say you have like some like video that's not wanting to load, and that's being really choppy, render preview will actually render it. As long as you don't edit it, then I'll have to re-render it. But basically it's kind of like exporting it, but in the software. So it'll just process everything so that it doesn't have to load anything. So it'll run smoothly and you can watch it without any problems. You can also record voiceover. So if you have a good mic setup, you can click this button. It'll pop this up, and then you can click record, and then you can record whatever you want to over your video. And it'll play the video while you record the audio as well, which is really nice. I've done that quite a lot. This is the audio mixer. So basically, I hardly ever mess with this because you can just adjust the audio on the video however you want it to be, however loud you want it to be. You do have templates for intros and stuff, but I hardly ever use those. I prefer to just make my own. And pretty much all of them are subscription based. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And then when you're done, basically all you do is just click the export button. So this is where you export. Basically, you have the name. You can save it to whichever directory you want to. You also can set the format to be whatever you want to, as well as the preset. So you can click settings here. You have a bunch of different options. You have the encoder, you have the frame rate, you have the resolution. So you can set this to 4K or 1080, but you tend to want to match it to whatever resolution you recorded at, as well as the frame rate, whatever frame rate you recorded at. If you do record at 60 FPS, you're going to have a smoother video if you set it to 30. However, it's definitely not going to be as smooth as if you just set it to 60, so I would suggest doing that. Yeah, and then you can set the bit rate. The higher the bit rate, the better the video is going to look, and the higher the bit rate, the better the video is going to look. I would stick to standard definition unless you have a really good camera. The higher the compression, the bigger the file size is going to be, but the better it's going to look overall as well. This is going to be your audio. You tend to want to stick to around, I would say, 320 kilobytes per second. However, it's going to default. It's going to default to like 128 or something like that. But I would just adjust that. But lately, I've just been tending to click higher instead of doing the custom. But if you have a good GPU, I would suggest enabling GPU accelerated video encoding, because it'll use your GPU instead of your CPU, and it's going to give you a lot better, a lot better processing power, or a lot better power. Like I wasn't even able to do chroma key until I enabled that, so I would definitely suggest doing that if you have a good GPU setup. And then you just click export, man. And then you just click export, and that's all you do. And then it'll be done and ready for you. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this video, and I hope it was helpful to some of you. And I'll catch you guys later. You have a good one.